One at a time, baby. FUS Rabat. We coming with time. We sit for the play, bro.
Basketball fans, welcome back. So in the previous video of me talking about the Ahly versus the Cape Town Tigers, the Ahly Benghazi team versus the Cape Town Tigers, I talked about the seeding games, and this was the second seeding game to determine the first and second seeds. And FUS Rabat versus Ahly will just go down as an instant classic because we had the defending champions on one hand matching up against the winners of the Kalahari Conference, and this game was nothing short but entertaining. The people in attendance in this game was 7,154. So this was a high stakes game given the top tier talent and the North African clash between these two teams. We've got Ahly, the defending champions from Egypt, versus the FUS Rabat team hailing from Morocco. And in this game in particular, I was monitoring what Ahly was going to do and also monitoring what FUS were going to do. And FUS did not fall short and did not look any weak because these guys just came out and balled out hard and clinched the first seed. And this game ended 89-78. And this is not a performance that you might see Ahly look, because when you've seen them play, even when they matched up against teams in the Nile Conference, they looked so dominant, and then they only lost a whopping one game. But looking at the type of competition that they had at the time, no team was able to stack up and even pose a threat to them. But this is the first time that they have been tested, and this is the first time that they have been pushed over the edge, and FUS Rabat just came in and dominated in this game. And this game was nothing short of entertaining, as FUS Rabat literally were much more efficient than the Ahly defending champions, as the FUS Rabat team went ahead and shot 50% from the field. Out of 63 attempts, they made 32 of them. They shot 57% on 2-point field goals, and they were 38% from downtown. They didn't attempt too many threes, as you've seen the Cape Town Tigers, the way they shot themselves out the game. But you could see they were 8 of 21, and that's a 38% clip. And the most interesting thing was, despite the fact that they didn't have a high free throw percentage, they went to the line more times. They went to the line 25 times, and they shot 68% from the free throw line. And this one enabled them to be able to go ahead and win the game and just add some extra points just to close out the game well. But when it came to the other stats, like in the rebounds, the FUS Rabat team only 5 rebounds shy from tying the Ahly Benghazi. The FUS Rabat team they're only 5 rebounds shy from tying the Ahly team, and in the assists and steals, they led in that stat. So they were just borderline sensational, and they were good. And for a North African derby like this, it lived up to all the expectations that I set for myself, and also set when I was making the predictions, because I know when North African teams clash, they just send shockwaves through the continent. Mark Lyons from the Ahly team, he led with 20 points. He had a game high 20 points from the Ahly team, and Patrick Ganda, he followed him with 12. Tony Mitchell Jr., he had 9 rebounds. You got Amir Mohammed, he had 6 assists. Then if you look at the other side of the FUS Rabat, you got Alou Diarra. This man has just been sensational. He had a strong double-double of 21 points and 10 rebounds. There was no stopping Alou Diarra. He was doing every single thing that he wanted to do, and nobody could be able to stop him. Then you had Kendrick Brown. He followed Alou Diarra with 20 points, and he also led with 5 assists. And this was a very good performance coming from the FUS Rabat team, and I don't think they showed any weak spots in their game, as they were much more efficient than the defending champions. And the defending champions, at some point, they just looked like another team that was just going to get beat. They didn't look like the defending champions like that, because of how this game panned out from start to finish. As FUS Rabat started off strong with a 22-point first quarter, then Ahly, the defending champions Ahly, they had a very good second quarter where they scored 30 points. And this was the quarter that showed that this game was just going to be very competitive. The third quarter was so defensive to the point where the defending champions Ahly were limited to 15 points and FUS 17. But in the fourth quarter, that's where the FUS Rabat team went ahead and dropped the hammer down, and they dominated with a 31-point performance in the fourth to close out the game. And at that point, I just saw that the Ahly team, the defending champions, just did not have any answers for them. And there's a high likelihood that FUS might even go ahead and even make the finals based on how they are playing. But we'll get to that because this is just the classification games to determine who the first seed and second seed were going to be. And FUS Rabat team, they're the first seed right now, and Ahly are the second seed. Initially I just said to myself, I feel like the defending champions are just going to easily clinch the one seed because I had not seen them get pushed to the edge. But in this game, the Ahly team being limited to 14 points, man, that thing really shocked me a lot. But overall, it was a great game. It lived up to all my expectations, and I must say, it was a good way to just start off the classification games, as there were no weak spots coming from the FUS, the Rabat team. Shooting-wise, they were able to have a better shooting percent from the field. As you can see, the defending champions only shot 44%. But if you look at the other statistics, you could see in steals, the FUS Rabat team led in that. They led in assists. But if you look at the other stats, the fast break points, the Ahly team led in fast break points with 19 fast break points, 14 second chance points, and 26 points from the bench. But despite the Ahly team leading in those statistics, the FUS Rabat team was so close, and they did not let up, and they were very, very just close to them on those statistics, as the FUS Rabat team led in points from turnovers with 18, and here with fast break points there were 16, second chance points 11, and bench points 21. So despite them leading in those statistics, it was not a far off game. So the first seed FUS Rabat are just going to have a good advantage when it comes to the BL playoffs when they kick off. So hopefully able to see them lift that BAL trophy. Or also, let's see if Ahly have the ability to go ahead and, defend their title, because this is their first title defense, and hopefully they're able to go back to back and make history. But the FUS Rabat team just showed that they're real deal, and they can go all the way, and they're not a weak team, because looking at how they have been playing in the Kalahari Conference, despite Dynamo pulling out and reducing the number of games that they had, still they were able to show that they are here to stay. And I'm very excited to see that, and hopefully we'll be able to see more of this type of basketball, because this game, it was a high stakes game, and I'm waiting to see the matchup. I'm going to see that matchup of the River Hoopers and AS Downers, and Petro de Luanda versus US Monastir, which I must say is very historic. And you're going to see the battle for the third seed and fourth seed between the River Hoopers and AS Downers, and Petro de Luanda versus US Monastir, the fifth and sixth seed. Petro de Luanda and US Monastir, they met in the BAL Season 2 finals, and I'm so happy that this rivalry has been rekindled, and we are going to see a lot of things happening. So if you guys like the video, make sure you leave your feedback down in the comments. And also, if you want to support the channel, if you're listening here in Kenya, there's an MPESA link there to support the network. And if you are outside Kenya, within the continent, outside the continent, wherever you're listening to me meet from, you can support the network through the PayPal link in the description box. So, with that being said, I'm out. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.